Hello and welcome everyone. Today we are going to understand the concept of adjusted gross revenue, AGR. Adjusted gross revenue. Now let's understand what basically it is and why it is in the news, coming again in the news again and again since last 10 years. Maybe you have not paid attention on it, but this is the one of the outstanding issue, especially in the telecom industry from 2010 onwards. So let's understand what is the matter and why it is coming again and again in the news and why it is a big concern for the telecom companies in India. Okay, so in year 1999, under the policy of liberalization, privatization and globalization, government was opening sectors one by one for private sectors as well as global companies. So in this category, in this connection, government have opened the telecom sector also. Telecom sector. So under this telecom sector, government have allowed not only government company, that is BSNL, government have allowed private companies, they can provide their telecom services in India. And under that, government is also going to provide a license to them, allocate the spectrum which need to be purchased by these telecom companies. Spectrums are going to be provided by the government of India, and government of India is also going to provide a license in order to run the telecom services. Over the period of time, the telecom services from the first generation, where only text and voice is available, from second, third and fourth generation, you can not only send a text and voice message, but you can also send a video message, images, and later on under 4G and 5G, you can do these things, sending and receiving images and videos at very high speed. So over the period of time, the phone which was only used for texting and receiving and making calls, that can be used for various purposes. All right. So with the rise of an expansion of this telecom services, the revenue of telecom companies also starts increasing. Now here the concept of adjusted gross revenue came into the picture. All the telecom companies have to pay the license fees to the government and they have to pay the tax on their income. Now government said that you are not making profits only through telecom services. Like you are providing them, you are providing your customer call services and SMS services. Apart from these services, lot of other services which are not a telecom service, you are providing and you are getting revenue on that. So you have to pay a tax on both kind of the services. What? That is telecom services plus non-telecom services you are providing, you have to pay the tax on both, because you are using the license provided by the government, and by using that license, you are providing all those services on the platform. For example, Vodafone and Airtel. So Airtel, which got the permission in the name of license from the government of India to provide telecommunication services, but apart from the telecommunication services, by using that license, Airtel is also providing video streaming services. And with that video streaming services, Airtel is earning income. So government point is that you have to pay the tax on adjusted gross revenue. Means adjusted gross revenue means the revenue which you are receiving through providing telecom services as well as non-telecom services like video streaming services. So you have to pay the tax on both. Telecom companies are saying that that is no relation. What streaming services we are providing that do not have any direct correlation with the telecom services. So we are going to pay the tax only on telecom services. Then matter become dispute and telecom services went to the court of law. And the court of law said that, Supreme Court said that, yes, telecom services need to pay on AGR, adjusted gross revenue. Means they have to pay the tax on the revenue which they are receiving from the telecom services related revenue plus non-telecom services related revenue. And this tax need to be paid with interest and late fees because the issue is under judiciary and you have not made any payment. And when the amount was calculated, it was like an amount if telecom services company are going to pay, then they may be going to be get bankrupt and they are not able to sustain themselves in the system, especially Vodafone, because it was already in lot of trouble. Now, if Vodafone is going to be eliminated, then what will happen? And why government of India have allowed Vodafone to exist, and government of India for time being said that, okay, we will put this thing later, you can run your business. In fact, government of India went a step forward and purchased some equity stakes in the Vodafone in order to save Vodafone. Now here question is, why government is trying to protect the Vodafone? And this Vodafone issue was one of the major issue because of this adjusted gross revenue related problem of Vodafone. So two things here. I have explained what is AGR, adjusted gross revenue, and how it became a problem for a company like Vodafone, and why government of India came to rescue Vodafone. If you see the telecom sector in India, basically here it is BSNL. Fine, government backed company or company of government of India. Second is Airtel. Third is Jio. And fourth one is Vodafone. Fine, Vodafone. So most of the people, they prefer either go to Airtel, Jio or Vodafone because according to them, BSNL is not providing quality services and still they have not properly introduced. I'm not saying not introduced, I'm saying properly introduced 5G services. So they are mostly going to use Airtel, Jio or Vodafone. And if Vodafone is going to be vanished from here, then in that case, the competition will be these two companies. And it is going to create a situation of, duopoly. Duopoly is going to be created. And in this, when the service provider know that customers have very less choice, when service provider know that customer have very less choice, then they start exploiting the customers. And that is why there is a need to have multiple service provider, whether it is an airline sector or it is a telecommunication sector. So it is very important Vodafone should be remain in the market so that market should be more competitive. And that is why government came in the rescue of Vodafone, and in fact not only just rescued the Vodafone but also announced that we are going to defer gross adjusted revenue related tax demand. But again news is coming maybe government is going to change its stance and government may demand right now for this gross adjusted revenue related tax. So, and that is why it is coming in the news. I hope you have understand the AGR issue and you understand the duopoly. Now, I have a question for you. And in this question, I am just going to ask you is a simple question. Do you think monopoly in the market is good or bad? If it is good, provide me the example. If it is bad, provide me an example. And if you do not know, let me know. I will make a dedicated video on the types of market, monopoly market, duopoly market. Various markets are there. Oligopoly market. Fine. So duopoly, oligopoly, monopoly. I will explain all these market if you want to know. Please comment and let me know. Thank you.
కాంపిటేటివ్ ఎగ్జామ్ సంబంధించి ప్రత్యేకంగా సివిల్ సర్వీసెస్ ఎగ్జామ్ సంబంధించి ఏ ఆప్షన్ చూస్ చేసుకోవాలి, ప్రిపరేషన్ ఎప్పుడు స్టార్ట్ చేయాలి, ఏ బుక్స్ రిఫర్ చేయాలి, ఇలాంటి డౌట్స్ ఉంటే CSB-IAS అకాడమీని కాంటాక్ట్ అవ్వచ్చు. దీనికి సంబంధించి నా పర్సనల్ అపాయింట్మెంట్ ఈ వీడియో పైన డిస్ప్లే అవుతున్న కాంటాక్ట్ నెంబర్కి ఫోన్ చేసి తీసుకోవచ్చు.